You're listening to the Hella Well with Danielle show, a podcast taking women of color on a journey exploring all things wellness and travel related. We're all about showing you how to put on your oxygen mask first and creating lasting self-care habits that will free you to travel the world and live the life you truly desire, and not one you have to fake loving. I'm your host, Danielle Washington. Now let's buckle up and start this journey. Welcome to the Hella Well with Danielle podcast, your weekly mental vacation from the daily grind for busy women who are just needing a moment to pause, breathe, and woosah. I'm your host, Danielle Washington, and before we get started into today's topic, because today's topic is a real girl, no fluff, and taking off all the mask and giving you guys some real information that I really feel that you're going to need, I wanted to say two things. First, I wanted to say thank you to everyone for their birthday wishes. I had a blast. I also want to mention for anyone who is in the Bay Area, I hope you can join me this Saturday, the 16th, at Mukunda Studios in San Francisco at the Wellbeing Fair. I will be offering Reiki services, but on top of that, besides anything that I'm doing, there's some amazing healing practitioners that are participating in this, some sound healing, some crystals, and all these other type of things, and also some talks about some really powerful topics. And so I just want to encourage you guys to attend. I'll make sure to put some information in the notes about it. But those are my two announcements that I wanted to say. Okay, so let's get into today's topic because I'm ready to go. Today we are having a real girlfriend talk, no fluff, just straight up conversation about inner peace. And I already know what some of y'all are thinking out there. You're like, oh, here we go with the yoga poses and the Zen music. You're picturing someone on a mountaintop. You're thinking I'm going to tell you, all you need to do is just breathe and meditate and life's going to be okay. And all these woo-woo things, it's going to be a woo-woo conversation. No, just hear me out. I just want you to hear me out because there's a lot of fake news about inner peace out there. And I think it's time we set the record straight. The first thing I want to talk about, which is my number one kind of pet peeve of the myths and misconceptions of inner peace, is that inner peace is all about yoga and meditation. So let me share with you a little secret. If you haven't heard this already before, when I first tried yoga and meditation, I hated it. I sit there attempting to meditate, thinking it was all about achieving this Zen-like state, like I was going to feel like I was Erykah Badu or just something amazing as some kind of guru. And honestly, instead I started feeling like I was more triggered. I didn't feel calm. I felt like I was on my mat thinking, why isn't this working? When is it going to start? When is this blissful feeling that everyone keeps ranting and raving about going to start? I just wasn't experiencing it. And I was like, well, this is BS because this is broken. Am I broken or is the practice broken? Because I believed I had to get to this point where my mind was quiet fully. I believed that I was supposed to be able to move my body in a certain way, and all of a sudden it was going to activate this superpower of just releasing everything that was bothering me. But that's not the reality most of us experience. Inner peace isn't just about meditating. It's not about just, I just got to sit here and it's going to be amazing. And that brings me to my second point, which is this feeling that inner peace is all about always being calm and always being Zen. I did a gift search earlier today on inner peace. And so I was like, okay, what am I going to see? What kind of images are they going to show me? One had a woman rubbing her temples saying, not today, Satan, while another was stating to people, Zen the F out. And there's this myth that people with inner peace are passive, indifferent, detached from all of reality, and that nothing bothers them, and that's the key. That's the goal of inner peace, is to have nothing bother you. You are above it all. And again, reality, that ain't true. It's not about being, I'm the Zen person. It's not about just meditation and yoga. Yeah, yoga and meditation can help you strengthen your inner peace, but it's not about just those things. It's not about just feeling zen and nothing is going to bother me. I have this bulletproof of all the BS around me because I now have inner peace. And that brings me to what I think is the biggest misconception of all time regarding inner peace, and the one that probably makes most people roll their eyes when someone's like, you need to work on your inner peace. And they're probably like eye rolling and thinking this exact situation. And the misconception is that inner peace means having no problems. Like all your worries, all your stress, and all your challenges are magically disappearing from your life thanks to your inner peace. I call fake news, fake news, fake news. Now, like, seriously, if this was even true, I'd be the least peaceful person on the planet. Having inner peace doesn't mean life is perfect. It's not about the absence of stress. It's not about, thinking life is just going to be stress-free and all is going to be well because I now have my inner peace and it's strong. But it's about the ability to cope, the ability to bounce back. It's not about being untouched, but unbroken. Inner peace really helps you handle life's challenges more effectively. It's about finding that grounding, those moments of peace, that internal sanctuary that lives within you in the midst of the storms in your life. And it's not about striving for this everyday feeling like you're at the end of a Disney movie or a rom-com. That's not what it's about. The reality of inner peace is that in the midst of life's chaos, I've come to realize that inner peace is more about an undercurrent in life. It's more about not escaping life's challenges, but about navigating them with grace and resilience. And you might be waiting for me to share some life-changing moment that happened in my life. Well, I hate to break it to you. I got nada for you. Like zip, zero, nothing. I can't pinpoint a single aha moment, a magical book that I read, or a conversation, or a class I took, or practice that brought me to this point. Instead, it was more like daily life that taught me the most. The boundaries I was setting helped me invoke my inner peace. Me constantly reminding myself that how I react to things and people is a choice was me invoking my inner peace. And going back to last week's episode about how every version of you has a purpose, and knowing that I needed some of those storms and challenges in my life to find to my inner peace, has also helped me look at inner peace differently. What I've come to realize is that inner peace isn't about being unbothered or untouchable. Inner peace is a source of strength, not passivity. And I don't think people realize that inner peace is a source of strength. And sometimes that inner peace will glitch. Sometimes it acts like one of your computers where, you never, I don't know if you've had this situation when your computer's on too long and it starts glitching out, or you start getting that wheel of death. That could happen with your inner peace. And those are signs when your inner peace needs a reboot. Like, think about it. Over time, like when your computer accumulates a cache or data, sometimes even a virus, it requires a reboot for it to start working properly. And that's the same thing with our minds. Our minds accumulate stresses, anxiety, traumas, negative thoughts, negative energies, negative habits. And just like those computer systems, we need to clear out the unnecessary data. The computers needed to work better. Well, we need that inner peace reboot to help cleanse the mind of the accumulated stresses and negative thoughts so we can function better. And with all the craziness that's going around in this world, all the energy that's going around, our internal systems are in overdrive. That's why many of us feel like we're stressing the F out, why we're having headaches, why we're having these neck pains, why we're feeling like things are spiraling out of control. That's because we're processing, adapting, and let's be real, sometimes just surviving all of these things that are coming at us without clearing any of it out. And that's what we need, this reboot. We need the refresh. not just for our devices, but for our souls. And I thought about this, and I was thinking about my own situation, especially with my birthday being around this time. I'm always reflecting a little bit more. And I was like, well, I want to curate something that can help busy women, that will be impactful in helping them clear out and reboot some of the data that's in them so they can have this refresh. And that's why I curated what I'm calling the Inner Peace mini virtual retreat, happening on October 7th, which is a Saturday, starting at 8 a.m. Pacific Standard Time, and it'll run from 3 to 4 hours. I'm going to try to do my best to get to 3 hours because reality, I know y'all are busy. But I felt that this was important because I'm mixing a fusion of healing practices designed to do more than just relax you for the moment. Like you can go to a massage and be relaxed for the moment, but I wanted something that where you can experience a deep relaxation. But that one that also leaves you with hands-on tools to help you find peace whenever life starts feeling really chaotic and it's hitting hard, and you have something that you can, I can use this. And I know there's someone out there listening to this and saying, I don't have the time, or I'm wondering how impactful a virtual experience can be. Like, is this just going to be like another webinar? But trust me when I say, I know this is what you need it now. I know you need this the most. This mini retreat is for you if you're thinking that. Like, I'm putting together my cocktail of different practices that one by one, they all work well and they do different things. But together, it's like mixing a Long Island iced tea. You know, you can have rum, you can have gin, all the different things, but mixing it together, it hits differently. Plus, the longer you delay your inner reboot, your inner peace reboot, the more data you're going to be accumulating. It makes it even harder to achieve that peace later on in life. And this is why this isn't just any virtual retreat, but it's a deeply personal project that I've created out of my own personal experiences and my own understandings and real life pressures that have helped in things that I've done to help me get through those things. And I'd love for you to join me. So if you're someone that feels like you're spread too thin, or you're ready to reclaim control of your life, or seeking something that's more than self-care, or even feeling overwhelmed with the choices of how can I add in self-care in a way that makes me feel like, I'm getting something that actually works. Or you're someone who's just dreaming of a pause button in life. This is for you. I invite you to join me on October 7th, on Saturday, and get this healing, get this experience. I'd love for you to join me. I'd love for you to be able to experience some of the peace and the reboot that I've been fortunate and blessed enough to experience. This may not be for everyone. And if this is something that you really think you need, but there may be some financial situation going on, please reach out to me as well. I don't want finances to be a huge hinder in someone who really needs this information getting it, who really needs this reboot, having this experience. My goal in life, my goal with this podcast, my goal with everything I'm doing is to have us feel liberated, to have us have moments of peace, but also having those moments of that inner strength that helps ground us in these moments. So again, I hope to see you. And I hope that whether you attend or not, you now have a little bit of a different perspective on inner peace and why it is important to cultivate it, and how that, sometimes things that get in the way can get it starting to feel like it's glitching. And that's when you need a reboot. On that note, I will talk to you next week. Ciao. Thanks for joining us this week on the Hello Well with Danielle show. Make sure to visit our website, hellowellwithdanielle.com, where you can subscribe to our show on iTunes, Spotify, and Amazon Music and never miss an episode. Also, you can follow us on social media at Hello Well with Danielle on Facebook and Instagram, and Hello Well Danny on Twitter. And if you like hella love the show and got some good nuggets out of it, know that I'm not too proud to ask for you to please leave a rating or review on iTunes so that we can continue to expand our reach and help other women of color. Again, thanks so much for listening, and I hope to see you next week. Ciao.